And away we go!
Welcome back, everybody. We're here for another pickups video. Yes, I visited Fair Game again, and I got so many good things. Man, you have no idea what it's like walking in there. Every time I walk in there, I walk out with something. I really do, because I always find something. It may not always be something that I didn't have. It may be something as simple as getting a game with a better label. But I got some stuff for you. Are you ready? Alright. So, the first game I picked up, X-Men, or Wolverine, Adamantium, you know what I'm trying to say. Adamantium Rage. Yay, I finally said it. Alright. Now, what's cool is it has the case, but it does not have the manual. But still, look. The little tabby thing. It has the little tabby thing. The little things, man. The little things. But yeah, dude. That right there, oh my goodness. I wasn't able to play really any of the X-Men games except for one. And I don't even remember what the title was. So now I'm just trying to buy all of them. So I can play all of them. Something that I just picked up. And it's actually because I saw a review video online on YouTube. Unfortunately, I do not remember the YouTuber's name. I do apologize. I want to give everybody credit. But he was playing Bionic Commando. And I'm like, that is a very interesting game. So when I walked into Fair Game and they had it for a really good price, I jumped on it like a fat man on a cheeseburger. Okay, this fat man on a cheeseburger. Well, you get it. You get it. Alright. Next game. Days of Thunder. Based on the movie with Tom Cruise, I'm sure. Paramount, gotta love it. Hey, Nintendo's hot, let's make a game. I have not seen any videos of this game, nor have I played it yet. I do know it works because, well, I got it from Fair Game. When I buy things from Fair Game, I know I don't have to worry if it works or not, because if it doesn't, I can always take it back, and they will either clean it to make sure it works, or, you know, they'll help me with the replacement if need be. But I don't normally have to do that because they thoroughly clean these suckers before they even try and sell them. So I know I got nothing to worry about. Now, I know in a previous video, you know, I've already technically picked up this game for the Super Nintendo, but, well, I didn't have it for the Nintendo, so I had to get it. T2, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I have not played this one. I have played the T2 Judgment Day on the Super Nintendo. It was a little confusing, but I got used to it. It's just one of those things. If you need to play something, get used to how to play it, what you need to do, and all that good stuff. Learning curve, that's what it's called. Next one, the original Gradius for the Nintendo. And before you ask, I don't believe they provided the dust covers. Actually, no, I think they did. They did provide the majority of them. Some of the other ones, if you notice, Bionic Commando didn't have one. I only got a few dust covers, and I took some of my extras to cover up the rest. I did not have enough for all of them, unfortunately. It happens. I'm getting there. Next one. Monopoly for Nintendo. Not Super Nintendo. For Nintendo. I already have it for Super Nintendo. And believe it or not, my wife had it for N64. So now we have the exact same game for 3 different systems. Crazy, right? But they're all different. All different. If you play all 3 of them, they're set up differently. They're created differently. The only thing that's the same is the fact that it's Monopoly. Everything else, the way you play, your options are all different. Ooh boy. Stealth. Now I picked this up because besides the fact I didn't have it, It was really cheap. It's one of the common ones. It's not a very high dollar game, nor is it very high in demand. But my phrase, I didn't have it, now I do. So there you go. Now please don't take my gamer card for this one. I know this game sucks. But once again, I didn't have it. I had to have it. Mario is missing. I've seen videos on it. I know it's not that great of a game. It's Nintendo trying to do a learning game. I get it. But I didn't have it before. And like I've said thousands of times, I will give any game a shot. A fair shake. A shot if I have not played it. But the main point here is I didn't have it before and now I do. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to collect here. So next game, Deadly Tower. Woo! All right. Now I have not seen videos on this, but it seems like a very interesting game. Once again, didn't have it before. Do now. That's going to be like a phrase that's repeated several times during this video. I like picking up, when I go to Fair Game, I'm not picking up a lot like I do when I go to yard sales or Facebook Marketplace or my buddy down, or my neighbor who is just trying to sell his stuff because he doesn't want it anymore. With those situations, 9 times out of 10, I can't really be like, oh, I just want this out of the lot. The person usually wants to sell the whole lot all together. So I'll buy the whole lot together, and unfortunately, sometimes, more times than not, I'll end up with some duplicates, which is nice, because then I can donate them to friends in need who don't already have them, or family members, or stuff like that, which is kind of cool. And it happens with some of the more common titles, like Duck Hunt, Super Mario Bros., stuff like that. Things that are common. They were produced a lot higher in quantity than, say, Stadium Events, or some of the other ones that are like not as popular. Speaking of Stadium Events, I do not have Stadium Events, but I have the reboot, which is World Class Track Meet. Now, being a business major, I understand why Nintendo bought the rights to the Power Pad and Stadium Events, because they saw something that was a gold mine. They found an item or an object that they could use with their system that could make them a lot of money, and they wanted control over it. That's pretty much what it was. They wanted control. Alright, next game, Friday the 13th. Now, I already owned Friday the 13th, but I want to point out the label. The label on this copy is a lot better than the one I had. Now, I don't have a problem with buying the same game more than once if I'm upgrading. Like, if I'm upgrading it to, I don't know, complete in box. If I'm upgrading it because of the label. If I'm upgrading it because the one I'm buying comes with a matching manual. If I'm upgrading, I have no problem purchasing the same game when it comes to games like Friday the 13th. Because let's be honest, I love the Friday the 13th franchise. I was born on Friday the 13th. My oldest son was born on Friday the 13th. I own all the movies on Blu-ray in that complete collection. I do. I even have a Friday the 13th tattoo on my right arm. I love Friday the 13th. But that game, come on, you could have done better. I think the reboot that just recently came out within the year, where you can either play as a counselor or Jason, I think that was a better depiction than that one. But, you know, what are you going to do? my last Nintendo game. Well, I've been looking for this one for a while, and I've never really been a big fan of this franchise. And I've already admitted, I've never played Final Fantasy VII. The only real Final Fantasy game I've played is Crystal Chronicles. But I figured I'd give this game a chance because everybody keeps raving about how good it is. I mean, and if I remember correctly, Square was kind of on the brink of bankruptcy, and this was like their last-ditch effort, and it paid off. Final Fantasy. Yeah, that's right. Look at that label. That label, oh my goodness. Now, they did provide the dust cover for that one. Final Fantasy is believe it or not, I don't really know what the value is right now. I know what I paid for it. I don't know what it goes for on the regular. But I know most collectors, besides the high sought after, high dollar amount items, that is like one of the games that they always try and make sure to get. There's games that if you're a collector, if you don't have it in your collection, what's going on? And that's kind of a phrase that's used for games like the Super Mario Brothers games. If you're collecting Nintendo and you don't have Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, or 3, dude, are you not looking? There's like tons of copies of those. I don't know how many copies of Final Fantasy there are, but what I do know is most people look for it. I found it. As soon as I found it, I snatched it up. Fair game. Oh my goodness. Can't praise them enough. They gave me a pretty good deal on it. Now, also while I was at Fair Game, I did pick up the same game twice. And you're thinking, same game twice? Why would you buy the same game twice? And I'm glad you asked. Now first, here's the game. Abe's Odyssey. Now it's the original release. The case is a little scratched up, and there is, I believe, a small little crack up here. But it is complete, right? And the disc isn't in that bad a shape. Now, why would I buy the game twice? Because, one, I want to buy every version of every game. That means Blades of Steel, gotta find that label variant. Metal Gear Solid, gotta get the original, gotta get the greatest hits, and I have the Essential Collection. So you gotta have, well, you don't have to have variants. It's all depending on the collector. I wanted the variants. But what makes this variant a little bit better is I have it, but if you notice, it's sealed. Oh yeah. It is a sealed copy of Abe's Odyssey. Sealed. That's why it was in a bag, because luckily the customer service representative at Fair Game said, you know, we should probably put that in a bag, because if the plastic gets punctured, it's no longer sealed. I would still consider it sealed, but erring on the side of caution, I let her put a bag on it, and I'm glad I did, because it was a bumpy ride getting home. There was some construction on the way home. But yeah, so I own both versions of the game, sealed. See, greatest hits, regular, and I now own the game. I own both versions of the game. One is sealed and will never be opened because I have an open copy that I can play at my leisure. I don't believe greatest hits and regular ones are different content-wise, except for when it comes to later systems like PS3 where there was DLC. A good example of that is when Mortal Kombat rebooted itself. People paid $60 when it first came out, and then they paid money for the DLCs to get characters like Freddy Krueger and stuff like that. I went to a store after it had been out for a while, bought the Greatest Hits version for $20, and it came with all the DLC already included. So $20, all the DLC included, $60 plus DLC. I think I got a pretty good deal on that. With that, that is it for this pickups video. I will see you guys next week. Is there a video game you think every video game collector should have? Please comment below and let me know. If you like this video, please click the subscribe and like button, and click the notification bell so you can stay in the loop of all my future videos.